What do you wish people knew about grieving a child?
That it never goes away, that it's always there, and that bringing it up doesn't bring it up, right? It's not like, oh, I've now sparked something in you that you weren't thinking about already. That's the thing. Like, oh, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want you to think about it. I'm thinking about it
All,
all the time.
all the time. Welcome back, everyone, to the Sad Moms. Today we are joined by sad dad Jason, who is Emily's dad. So before we get into the shitty part of your story, I want to know about Emily.
Emily was a firecracker, a little pistol. She was funny. She liked to laugh and have fun, and she would watch YouTube videos on arts and crafts and then go do things. I remember one time she came in and she said, I need a clean, dry water bottle. She kept saying a clean, dry water bottle because that's what the YouTube video said, a clean, dry water bottle.
Yeah.
And she made something. And then she made rabbit ears and she would just watch these videos and then draw things. And she would always do arts and crafts with my wife. My wife was an elementary school teacher. She always had arts and crafts stuff to do. And then she would make YouTube videos, but without the YouTube. So she would just make videos, and I would see her talking to the non-existent camera.
Oh, like not even on an iPad or something.
Yeah.
She just...
Then she advanced to the iPad, but she would do them, and then she'd say, "Press like if you like this video."
Like to subscribe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was always thinking about everybody and getting, like, she loved Christmas and birthdays. So she would always be thinking ahead, well in advance, about presents for people and what she wanted to do and getting things.
You're wearing her shirt today, right?
Yeah, we were going to go to the Olivia Rodrigo concert. We had planned that ahead. And unfortunately, she passed. That was going to be in August. She passed October before. And we had planned that. She loved Olivia Rodrigo. And it was funny because on the radio, they always cut the explicit lyrics. But then when she would hang out with her two cousins, they had everything on, they had the music. And so she loved it because they would
hear the bad words.
Yes, they would come on. Oh, the explicit lyrics, she would say. So, yeah, she liked that.
What were some things that you guys did together? Some father-daughter things?
We would make things. So she would do Lego, and I would always get her these Lego sets, and she would be done with them in like 2 days. I'd get her these sets that were for kids 2 or 3 years older than her, and she would just put them together like that. And sometimes it'd be funny. She'd go through these booklets. I never understood why the booklets, the pictures were smaller than the booklet. Like, they should have made them bigger. And she'd get through somewhere, and then she would miss a step somewhere along the way, and she'd get further ahead, and then she'd get pissed off. And I'm like, okay, let's just go back and figure out where we missed something, and then we'd go back and figure that out. She had this, like, I don't remember, it was like Connect, those like little Connect toys, and
yeah,
and we'd make those. And we were gonna make some wood projects. We had gotten some wood stuff together. She liked making things.
So very artsy and creative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She would draw things out. She had drawn out a whole thing for a leprechaun trap.
Oh, look for St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's, yeah. But she had drawn it out, what she was going to put in there. I showed it to a friend of mine who's an engineer. She's like, he said, this is pretty good drawing. Like,
wow.
for a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she liked that kind of stuff.
And you have a living child, your son.
Yeah,
older.
He is. He's 2.5 years older.
What was their relationship like?
Good and bad. So, one, since he was a boy, he didn't want to play the kind of girly stuff that she liked to do. Although she liked doing more boy type stuff, like the arts and crafts, building things. He didn't like doing that. He didn't have the patience for that. But they were close in that way. They shared a room together. We had a 2-bedroom house. And so they shared a room, and he liked being with her. I remember they would fight a lot, like kids do, like siblings.
Okay.
And then I remember one time he had gotten the flu, and he would be hallucinating at night. He had these fever like hallucinations, and he would wake up and be telling me things that he didn't remember, like in the middle of the night. Like these sleepwalking
like
kind of things.
Sleep.
Yeah. And he said, no, I don't want them to take Emily. I don't want them to take her. She's part of our family.
Oh.
Yeah. So I knew he loved her.
Yeah.
And when she was dying in the hospital, he was really upset about it. He couldn't even go in there and see her. It was really hard. Fortunately, they had at Kaiser they had this child life specialist,
Mm-hmm.
and she really helped him a lot that day. I didn't want him to like not have any closure and be like I never saw her or anything, and so she helped him that day, so that was good.
And what did she die from?
You know, it's hard to say. It's like she got sick on a Wednesday, like normal kid stuff. She didn't go to school Wednesday, Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
Friday, which kids do.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like
Like a
anything.
cold, like seemed like a
Yeah, like a
cold or
cold type
something.
thing. And she didn't seem anything bad. It was kind of like all day Saturday she was lying down, and then Sunday morning, so she was kind of stooping around a little bit. Sunday morning, we took her to urgent care, and they did COVID tests, they did strep throat, they did all this stuff. Nothing came
What
back.
year is this?
So this is 2023
Okay.
in October,
Mm-hmm.
and they were wondering if she's dehydrated. So she's drinking a lot of water. All right, and they said you could take her to the emergency room. I said, I'm one to not be over worried about everything. If kids get sick.
Yeah.
I mean, Ethan at some point had 102 fever. I'm like, kids get sick.
Right.
We monitor everything. So we're taking them in there, and they said you could take her to the emergency room, or you could take her home, and then if things get worse, bring her back. So we're like, all right, let's just wait a little bit. So that was Sunday morning, and then Sunday night it got worse. So we took her to the emergency room. I
Like
did.
she had a fever, or she just really
No, it just was
feeling
really
good?
like breathing heavy,
Okay.
and it was really bad. So we took her in,
Mm-hmm.
and she couldn't walk. They took her right in, and they said that she had, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like high blood sugar. So they thought she was undiagnosed diabetes.
Okay.
It's like acidosis, blood acidosis, or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I don't know. So she's in the emergency room there at Kaiser, and they told me they see this all the time with kids. 2 or 3 kids a week come in. So this is normal, like not normal, but nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was Sunday night, and we brought her in. They stabilized her and brought her up to Kaiser Sunset for the pediatric ICU, and they were stabilizing her blood sugar, and they have to bring it down gradually. And things looked like okay, they were getting it down. People were coming in talking to us about diabetes. We thought, all right, she has diabetes. This is, something we can work with. So that's Monday now. Monday night, she codes. And we're like, what? I mean, it was freaky. It was like everyone comes in, they're doing stuff. They put a breathing tube in her.
Oh my God.
And it was a nightmare, like all of a sudden. And then she's sedated at this point. So that's
Mm-hmm.
Monday night. And for the rest of the time, she's sedated. They've got all these IV things in her. They're doing stuff. Her blood sugar's coming down, so she's not feverish. They say that she's not in pain. Even though she's sedated, they can monitor her pain. But she's sedated, and we're not, like, we can't really talk to her or anything. And she's not, I mean, there are a few times where she was biting on the breathing tube, and she was breathing a little bit above it, but they weren't taking it out. And they kept coming around, and we kept talking to the doctors, and at some point, they said that they think she had this thing called HLH, which I don't remember exactly what it stood for, but it's basically where the white blood cells wouldn't shut off. So she had a small virus that's like the croup. It
Okay.
was like a flu-like virus,
Mm-hmm.
but not the flu. And her white blood cells wouldn't shut off, so her pancreas was going, her
Oh my
liver was
God.
going, and the white blood cells just kept attacking her body. That's what they told us.
This just all kind of happened, like came on.
Within 10 days,
Oh my
so the
God.
following Tuesday, they kept bringing her down. They brought her down twice for an MRI,
Mm-hmm.
and her, I guess her brain, like, comes in, or I don't know exactly, and it's just she's brain dead, and so
Holy
yeah, I mean,
Oh my God.
and so the following Tuesday, you know, we just took the breathing tube out, and she died within an hour or something like that. Not even that long.
Oh my God, Jason. I didn't know it was so sudden.
Yeah, it's like,
I can't.
and you don't even know, like, because you're there. You think about it, you go through it. The diabetes thing must have been going on for a while because she was peeing a lot. That's apparently a sign of diabetes.
But she was never uncomfortable or like before she got sick, there was no signs of it.
Yeah, well, just the peeing a lot when you
Okay.
go back and look, but you talk to other people and that happens. But then you go in and you get better. So this HLH thing is like something else. And you, at least that's what they say. Who knows? Like if the white blood cells are keep attacking, like her liver wasn't working, her kidneys weren't working. And so, my mom asked me questions and my stepmom asked me questions. I don't know. You're in there with her. It was not like she was in surgery.
Yeah.
I don't think the doctors were doing anything wrong. I think her body was just doing that. She coded. No one was doing anything wrong. I mean, we talked about having an autopsy, and my wife was like, let's just take her home because, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
There's nothing that they're going to find out. They didn't do anything. And you go back and look. I'm the type of person who's like, I can't, nothing's going to bring her back, so I can't just keep beating myself over the head. And I don't think anybody did anything wrong. I don't think those 12 hours, if we had brought her to the emergency room at 10 o'clock that morning rather than 12 o'clock that night, would have done anything different. And they told us that if you brought her in the day before, nothing would have changed. But yeah, you're just like, how does this happen from one day to the next?
Yeah.
And it does happen. There's other kids that this happens to. But, yeah, so it's just like all of a sudden you just don't have your little girl anymore, and it's a nightmare.
It's a fucking nightmare.
It is.
How did you manage the first year after that happened?
I mean, you barely muddle through it. I mean, you're muddling through it all the time as it is. It's not easy because we were in the middle of remodeling the house so we could have more room for both of them. And then you don't need the room.
Right.
And then you're trying to make all these decisions when you can't even think straight. And then my wife was just, a mess, of course. And, she's got to work and I'm trying to work and I'm trying to take care of my kid. And yeah, you just kind of go one step in front of the other and just keep going.
Yeah. How old was she when she died?
She was 9, so she would have been 10 that January. So she died on October 17, 2023, and then she would have been 10 in January.
Immediately following, what were some things that you did to stay somewhat sane? Or what have you been doing? Not that any of us are actually sane, right? I don't know what the right word is, but I don't know. I guess what have you done to get by?
Just kept doing, I was teaching classes online, so I just kept doing that.
Did you take time off from work at all?
No, I didn't, but my classes were only meeting once a week. So, I just kind of, and only for like an hour and a half. So I would just do it and then be done. My wife and my son took probably 2 weeks off. I had some of her friends' parents, they organized like a meal train thing. And so we had people bringing us food and that was nice. So we were able to muddle through that. And over the holiday, we took a few days and went up to Santa Barbara, but both of them got sick. I think physical manifestation of the grief. So we were just sitting in the hotel. We didn't even do anything, so it was kind of weird. I umpire high school baseball and we started our meetings in December and a couple of the guys knew and they called me and said, do you want to still do this? And I'm like, yeah, because what else am I going to do? And we're living in this apartment that we just hated at that point because we didn't want to be there to begin with. And
This is while you're remodeling your
we're
house.
remodeling and just trying to get through and trying to make things somewhat normal for Ethan going to school. And then what was weird is, so my wife called her principal and because she works for the school district to let him know. And then he put something in, they had school system had something. So he put something in to let the school know. And then that triggers something because Emily's in the school district. So all of a sudden the principal is calling my wife and we don't even like the principal. So now the principal knows. So we weren't going to say anything for a day or two. So now that night I'm calling all her friends' parents to let them know so that they don't go to school the next day and be blindsided by this.
Right.
So I've got to call all these parents, like 4 or 5 parents just so that they know. And, it's just like, it's just hard as it is.
Well, you're grieving yourself and then you're having to deal with everyone else's grief too.
Yeah, just like, hey, I just want to let you know,
Yeah.
And then And then
What grade was she in?
fourth.
Fourth grade.
And she had some really nice friends, and they were, I mean, it was nice. It was just
Did the school do something for her?
sort of like they were doing this, they do this Dia de los Muertos celebration, you know, and
Well, right, because she died right before.
right before that, right? So they had planned that anyway. So the kids all, you know, brought in, recorded those for that already, and then they have a dance. So they dedicated their dance to her. We don't go over there. I mean, we don't even drive by the school anymore.
Yeah.
The post office is right by the school, and so like I drive around whenever I have to go over there. I mean, I don't even. It's kind of silly now, but I don't even want to drive by there. And then some of the parents want to try to get together, and we have, and it's hard. Yeah. And then they just graduated fifth grade in June, and so I guess
Right, so she should have been graduating too.
And I guess the principal had an empty chair for her and said something, and then so we got a few more phone calls from parents. But
how has your son been managing?
he's okay. I mean, he's pretty stoic.
He's in high school now?
He'll be in high school
high
in the fall, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard. So when he went back to school, you know, so then it spread, you know, rumors spread or whatever.
Everybody
Bad news
finds
spread.
out, right?
Yeah. And so then people say stuff to him or they text messages or whatever. And so that was kind of bad. And then people say stuff and then he's at school. He's like, you know, I'm the only one who has a sibling who died. And,
Yeah.
And then weird things happen, like people know about it. You know, she played basketball at the park, and so kids at other schools knew her, and so they know. And then I had a friend who called me up and had, well, she found out about it because we worked together, but then she had gone out of town, and she came back and picked up her son from school, and he was sad, and he said, yeah, my friend's classmate died. And it was just like random connections, you know, and we're getting random connections in different places. And so it's just those kinds of things.
What has grief been like for you?
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
you know, my dad had passed away in January of 2022, and we were just kind of getting over that. That hit my son really hard. They were really close. And, you know, you kind of expect at some point that your dad's going to die. And
yeah.
I didn't expect it at that point, but it was like, all right, things happen, and you kind of get used to that. And then this happened. And then you start thinking, I wish he was here so he could help me with this. Of course, I wish he was here instead of him, but I wish he was here to help me with this. You know, this is kind of this weird thing. And then you start thinking, all right, maybe he's there together or something, and he's buying her ice cream or something, you know. And then my stepmother finally got, which I never even called her my stepmother. They got married when I was like 30.
Yeah.
But she's been around since I was in high school. She finally put together something to celebrate my dad's life, like in January after my daughter died. Like she just started to think about doing it, and then she died. It's like, God. So then I'd say something for my dad, and I'm sitting there grieving my daughter and my dad at the same time. I was just a fucking mess.
Yeah. Do you and your wife grieve the same way?
Not at all.
Oh, that makes it hard.
Yeah, it's and part of it is probably me. They, you know, they're both at school. She's a teacher, he's in school, and so I'm at home a lot. I work at home, and so I can grieve at home. I tend to watch sad movies or just cry a lot at home. She has her friends that she talks to, and she sometimes will dwell on the past or like we should have done this or I should have known, or she tends to want to say, why is God punishing me, kind of thing. What did I do wrong? I mean, I've done plenty of wrong things in my life. I don't think God's punishing me. I don't think God works that way.
Right.
I'm not a big religious person at all. So I don't know. And it's hard. Maybe I'm a solitary griever, if that's a thing. I don't know.
So do you like to kind of be by yourself while you grieve, while she likes to be around people and talk more?
She doesn't want to talk. I think she wants to talk to me. But I don't want to talk, maybe. So I think that could be a problem. She does talk sometimes, and I listen. I'll listen, but I don't respond very much.
Why?
Maybe I don't want to cry in front of other people.
Okay.
I don't know. I go to groups.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we know each other. So
Yeah.
I feel like you are pretty open in groups and you do talk and share.
I do.
Is it because you feel like you're in a safe environment where we're all kind of talking and crying?
Yeah, I do. I go to the group that we go to, and then I go to that parent group, the Compassionate Friends group. I like that. I don't know. It's weird because like when I was visiting my mom over the weekend, she was asking me stuff, and I don't want her to ask me anything. With my wife, when she wants to, I did something wrong, or we didn't do this, or we didn't notice this. It's like I don't want to dwell on the past either. I don't know. I don't. It's hard because I should be more present, and I'll be crying sometimes. Sometimes I'm crying right there in the living room, and
While they're home, or just while
yeah,
you're by
while
yourself?
they're home,
Okay.
they don't even notice sometimes, or maybe they don't want to notice. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm blubbering. I'm just sitting there.
You're just crying.
And maybe I'm watching a sad movie or something, and it'll make me think, or maybe I'm watching something that could be happy and makes me think. I was watching the Olympics, and I start crying when they give out the medals because I'm thinking about all the dads that are watching their kids getting their medals.
Yeah. And we don't get to do that. I'm with you on that. I feel like life is a trigger, something that we've talked about, right? Everything is a trigger.
Life.
Every single thing that we encounter, every single thing that we do, and it could be happy or sad or angry, and all of it just takes us back to our kid.
Yeah. I mean, my wife graduated, got her master's degree, and it was very exciting. And my daughter can't be there.
Oh, this was she graduated after?
Yeah, she just got it in June.
Oh.
And not only, it's like she can't be there to see it. And then I think about my daughter's not going to get anything. And then I see all these other students getting their degrees.
Ugh.
And I think about all their parents that are there. Yeah. And then I remember when I got my PhD and coming down the aisle, and my daughter was 2.5. And I was in the front, and she was right there, and she was jumping up and down. She was so happy to see me coming down.
Must have been like the best feeling.
The best.
Yeah. It's hard. We grieve all of these. I guess I don't know if it's a secondary loss, but all the things that could have been.
Yeah.
Like I think about all that too. Like all the things. Like anytime I'm at something for the girls, I'm always thinking, oh, he should be here celebrating with us, or he should be a part of it. And then he's not.
Yeah.
And I feel shitty. So it's a cycle, never ending cycle.
Yeah, when we go to like Ethan's baseball games, there's a couple of sisters that she used to play with, and they don't go now because one friend that she had just doesn't go to the game. Part of it because she misses Emily, part of it because there's nothing for her to do there.
As a dad, do you feel like there's pressure on you to be strong or grieve in a certain way?
Not for me, I don't think. I mean, men in society, right? We're not supposed to cry much, whatever. I think my son may feel that.
He's got to keep it in.
He said that, and I said, "Why? I've never told you that."
Yeah.
But he's told me that he's sad, and he doesn't want people to see him crying. I think that's kids at school, right? Boys don't cry. But I don't know. I think as a dad, I feel that there's a responsibility that I have to kind of keep everything together for the family. So I have to, but this has always been my role anyway. I got to, make sure that I got all the groceries, and that's kind of my role as it is, because I stay at home, so I get the groceries and make sure everything's done. But I haven't been doing a very good job at that either. And we tend to eat out a lot because I'm not going to the grocery store and getting things to make for dinner.
Yeah. Are you the cook in the family? My husband is the cook in the family as well. I don't
Yeah.
do anything in the kitchen at all. I clean, and I have nothing to do with cooking.
Yeah, I do the cooking, but then nobody likes what I make, so.
So that doesn't help either.
Yeah, not much. They like a few things.
Did Emily like your cooking?
Yeah, she liked some of the things I made. She liked making the sweets. We used to bake a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, we baked a lot. That was a hard thing. When we were designing the house, I was designing a lot of the stuff for her. Big kitchen and living space so that we could bake together, and our friends could come over and hang out, and we would bake things, and then we'd go to a potluck or something, and I'd say, all right, I brought brownies, and she'd say, I brought the brownies.
I made the brownies, Dad. What has helped you feel less alone in your grief?
The parent meetings are nice.
Support group.
The support group. The one I like our group, but I like the group that I go down to, the Compassionate Friends. It's weird because, well, I was going to the Miss Foundation,
Okay, I've heard of that one too. I've never been to those groups.
but the Compassionate Friends, most of them are adult children, which is interesting. But at least what's interesting to me is that the women there are more like my mother's age, so I feel like some compassion there.
Nurturing.
Yeah, a little bit. They're very nice, very warm people, and so I get something there. I don't know. So I get something different from every group that I go to.
Yeah.
So that's been nice. But they're once a month. But I can joke around with them, and they laugh at my jokes, and it's like having a nurturing group of extra mothers. I guess.
Yeah.
Don't tell them I said that. They
I
probably
won't.
wouldn't like that.
I won't. And then, how's things been with your family? Like your extended family? Have they been helpful?
Somewhat. My stepmother comes a lot, but she always has, and I mean that's good. She's around. My cousins live back east. Nobody says anything. I have a couple of friends that are close and ask questions, but
Do you feel like people have moved on or forgotten or don't want to bring it up?
I think most people don't want to bring it up.
And you don't bring it. Do you bring it up?
I will bring up things like Emily liked to do this or Emily liked to do that or whatever, but nobody says much. Ethan will, Lorena will say, "Oh yeah, I remember Emily liked to do these things. Oh yeah, blah blah blah." We'll have a recollection, but I noticed that even when we were just on this trip to Tahoe, that I said a few things. Oh yeah, Emily and Ethan like to do that, and they just don't say anything. Like they don't want to bring any. They don't even want to add to it. Oh yeah, I remember when Emily liked to do that or whatever.
That's the hard part is you're left in this black hole talking about your kid and
Yeah,
nobody's with you on it.
yeah, and so you're like, all right, and that's fine, whatever. I'm not, I don't really care what other people do anymore. At this point now, I mean, before I've been there where I don't really care what other people are doing, but now I just really don't care
Yeah.
what other people. It's like I've gone through the worst thing you can go through. I could really give a shit what other people are doing. So if you don't want to talk about it, that's you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still talk because I still remember things and I'll still talk about stuff. And some people will. I have a couple friends that remember stuff. Even some kids. What's funny is, like, these people that we went on Tahoe with, there's a couple that they have, other kids or cousins or whatever, and they'll bring it up, not much, but they'll say, "Oh, I remember Emily was always nice to see."
It feels good though when people remember our kids.
Yeah.
It feels good for somebody else to bring them up other than us.
Yeah.
What do you wish people knew about grieving a child?
That it never goes away, that it's always there, and that bringing it up doesn't bring it up. Right? It's not like, "Oh, I've now sparked something in you that you weren't thinking about already." That's the thing. Like, "Oh, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want you to think about it." I'm thinking about it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like my grief has made me very quiet and isolated. I don't really want to go out and do many things unless it's something I have to do for work or something I have to do for kids, but I really just stay home.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going and seeing other griefy parents,
Right.
Other than that, it's hard for me to get out and do things because then the conversations with other people start and I just I
Right.
take because I just
Yeah.
don't know what to do sometimes or what to say. So sometimes if I meet people and they like, I think that I just met somebody randomly the other day and they were talking to me about my kids. And of course, the question comes up, how many kids do you have? 3. So then how old are they?
Right.
So I just acted like he was still alive.
Yeah.
And I just didn't say anything because I'm like, I'm only going to know you for a few minutes. So,
Right.
And even in that few minutes, I got to pretend he was alive. And there was something about that felt okay.
Yeah. I've done that. And then I've told random people that she's not alive.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
I guess it's a vibe you get from someone else, or it's like how I'm feeling like a certain
Right.
day, and like somebody just has something about them. And sometimes perfect strangers can make you feel better about your grief than people who are part of your family and you've known for a long time.
Yeah.
Has anything surprised you in your grief?
The resilience that we have as human beings, that you can just keep going on. My dad was really into ancestry when he retired. He was doing all this stuff and he would show me all these things, and I never got into it as much as he did. He would always show me things, but his grandmother had lots of kids and a lot of them died, because he had the influenza in 1917, and around there. And so people dealt with a lot of death back in the early 1900s and the late 1800s. And people took photographs with their dead children, and like it was more commonplace. And I think back then we dealt with death differently. We're so afraid of death right now.
It's interesting you bring this up because another mom shared, back in the 1900s, people grieved more openly, and it
Yeah.
was more of a commonplace thing than it is now, where
Yeah.
death is like, so people don't want to talk about it, people don't want to bring it up, and
Right. It is. We are afraid to talk about it. We don't like it. We don't want to do it. But yeah, with this, we don't talk about death. Nobody wants to talk about it, and they're there in the beginning, and then they just kind of avoid it.
that's been the hard part for me, is people disappearing and leaving and
Yeah.
thinking, well, it's been 2 years or whatever, it should be fine now.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Right.
I don't know. Child loss is just, it's just different. You're just never going to be, like you said, you're never going to be over it. You're never going to really be okay. You're never going to forget about it.
I've said this before. I saw this on a grief thing somewhere, but this psychologist said, grief is like a box with a button, and the grief is the button. There's a big ball in there, and it bounces around and hits that button, and that's your grief. And as time goes on, the ball gets smaller, but it's always bouncing around, and it hits that button. The ball gets smaller, so it doesn't hit the button as often.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and so you get, I don't cry all the time, but yeah, there's things that sometimes it just triggers it, sometimes out of nothing. Sometimes you're just sitting there and all of a sudden you just start, oh my God, you just start crying about it, and you don't even know why. And then sometimes you're just crying because you know why. And then sometimes you just feel like crap, and you're just like, why do I feel like crap right now? We have to do some cleaning up in the house, and I know we're both avoiding it because we got to clean up her room, and we don't want to do it.
Yeah.
When we moved back into the house, we had to move her stuff out of her room. And
because you were living in an apartment when
Yeah.
she died, and then you
Yeah.
had to move back into your
right.
Okay.
And we didn't we had movers, but we didn't move her room for some reason. We did it ourselves. God help us why. I don't know what we were thinking. And so we moved it we did one day. And when we came back, and I was dead tired. I was just my body was like, don't do this to yourself, almost. Just like a physical manifestation of grief. The next day I was fine. And then the next day we did it again. I was dead tired. I could just tell that my body was not happy with it. And so we needed to do some stuff, and we just got to do it. And we want to just kind of set it up, make it look a little nice, and just have. And and we were going to do that this summer, but
They shared a room before in your
Right.
home,
right,
and so was it the remodel so that they each had their own room?
yeah.
Okay. So what have you done anything with the room that's supposed to be hers? Is her stuff in there?
Her stuff is all in there, but it's just a mess.
Yeah.
It's just boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a bed in there, but we didn't even set it up because we want to get rid of the bed, and we want to get Ethan a new bed. It was a bunk bed that we separated. And it was like, let's get a new bed, and I can sell that bunk bed.
The stuff is hard. Some people want to get rid of the stuff right away, and then me personally, I don't ever want to get rid of anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just different for everybody and their grief process, but
I buy her things still.
I do too.
She loved those Squishmallows. Whenever I see them at Costco, I just get another.
Oh, you made me feel better right now because I do too, and I don't tell anybody that.
I buy it and I put it in the room, and then Lorraine will come by. Did you get her another Squishmallow? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm not the only one because I'll still buy stuff and I just won't say anything. And whenever there's a holiday or his birthday, buy something for the family that he would have liked or wanted, but I can't stop. I don't see myself stopping doing that. I don't know.
I don't either. I figure whatever. I mean, who does it harm? And
Yeah. You have your PhD in social welfare,
right.
correct? How do you think, with your background and your knowledge and expertise, that society is handling grief? And how bereaved parents are being supported through grief?
Well, I'm not a clinician and I'm not an expert, but just so your viewers know,
Okay.
or your listeners, I think those who are grieving can find the support that they need. But I think as society, like we were talking about, we don't grieve very well. My dad used to say, "Death is hardest on the living." It's true. We just don't know how to deal with it. We don't know what to say to people. And the truth of the matter is, I think we just need to be there for people and just go and sit with people and say, "Hey, I'm here. Let's just hang out and I'll just sit here with you." And my friend did that. He came down and did stuff for me right around the time, and then he would call me all the time. But then after a while, like I had to tell him, like, you can ask me about Emily, or you can ask me how I'm doing. I had some other friends that would ask me, or at least just get together. But I don't know. I wanted to do some research on grief, and I think I will. There's all these books. Everybody's got a million books,
So many books.
and they're hard to read.
I can't bring myself to read any grief books at all. I've tried. I bought so many because there's so many like well-rated books and I just
Yeah,
cannot read them.
yeah. I started reading one. This guy gave me one about it was Broken Rainbows. This woman wrote it that he knew from middle school. Her mother and two sisters died in a plane crash, and she was left with her and her dad. And her dad was, I guess, like a mess, and she had to grow up from like 12 or 13 on up without her mom and her two sisters, and basically without her dad because of the grief. And I read and read, and oh my God, I was like crying and reading it, and it's just like terrible. But there's all these books. I didn't have to buy any books because like everyone gave us a book.
Yeah.
But I want to, I don't know, maybe when I get in a place I can read more about it. And different cultures grieve differently. I think we just want to avoid it. We want to sweep it under the rug and go, okay, it's done, because you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I think that's our thing. I like the Dia de los Muertos. You celebrate your dead ancestors, and you have recuerdos, and you put pictures up, and I don't know. I like sitting around sharing stories when they come up. We talk about it. I don't like to dwell on what happened. I don't like to dwell on what did I do wrong, because what good does that do you?
Yeah.
I don't want to beat myself up, because there were. I mean, and what did I know? She had to pee a lot, and that's a sign of the diabetes. But I don't think the diabetes was the problem. But I don't know. I'm not a damn doctor.
Right.
And something else happened. It's what am I going to do now with all that knowledge? Nothing.
Right.
So all I can do is go, all right, here I am, and one day maybe I'll see her again, and then I can, hug her again, or who the hell knows? Maybe not. I'll just fucking die and be cremated, and nothing will happen.
The only thing that gives me hope is that I'm gonna see him again. So I
That's
just gotta keep that
yeah.
in my head. That's what I keep thinking about. You went to UCLA, right?
UCLA.
Yeah.
5 degrees from that university.
What? You have 5 degrees from UCLA?
Yeah.
Okay, what are they in? I need to know.
I got my BA in history.
Okay.
And then I went right away and got my MED in teaching. And then I went back and got my MED in leadership and curriculum, because
Okay.
I was going to be a principal.
That's 3.
And then I hated administration, so I got out. And then I decided to go back and get my MSW. And while I was doing my MSW, I was like, oh, I like this.
Okay.
And I like the research in this. So I applied for the PhD. So I have a lot of people I know have 2, like an MSW and an MPH, in public health. So I have 1 extra.
How do you think all of your education has come into play with your grief?
I think it makes me more analytical, probably. And
In what way?
Probably helps me compartmentalize.
Okay.
And so I can kind of look at it and say, all right, I know logically that grief is there and it's normal. It's part of it, of society. It's part of human being. It's emotions, and that it's okay. And so, yeah, fucking miserable right now, and that's okay. And so I just try to do my work. I explained it at a meeting once where, like, when I go to UCLA to teach, I drive to campus and I've got this like big cloud over my head, dark cloud. It follows me as I drive to campus. I walk to my building and then it sits there. I go into the building and I get to teach for a couple hours. And that's cool because I'm interacting with people. And that cloud is just sitting out that building waiting for me.
Grief cloud?
Yeah, that grief cloud is waiting. It's almost like happily waiting for. It's like sitting there going, I'm going to get you. And then I walk out the building and I can feel it. I walk out the building and then I'm just follows me. And then I just walk back to my car. And then my grief just keeps going as I go. And so all this education, especially with social welfare, that's okay. I mean, it's funny because I was thinking about you. You're very persistent in all your messages to me. Are you coming next week? You're still good? Monday and then Friday and then Saturday and then okay, we're gonna be and so I'm a little like yesterday and this morning, a little not anxious, but like, okay, I'm gonna be coming and I know the grief is there and it's like it's there. But at the same time I'm happy to be talking to you about it, but it's still grief, I mean it's like and so it's funny because my wife doesn't want to go with me to any of these meetings. She said, they're not going to make me feel any better. And it's funny because when I go, especially to the compassionate friends, we laugh and we have a good time. Yeah. But nobody's trying to make anybody feel better.
No.
Right? And we all know where we're at. And what I like about it is that we all know where we're at. And so we don't, it's like, I mean, we've all said it, right? We're all in a club that nobody wants to be in, but it's more than that. It's like, I get you, and you get me. And so when we laugh, it's not like we're going, oh, you're laughing and you're in grief. It's like, oh, we can laugh about this because I know.
Yeah.
Right? And so we understand each other. And so that feels good. When I'm at school teaching, I can be with them and I can laugh and I can interact with these people and it's funny, I get these reviews and I read them and I kind of take them with a grain of salt, some of them, and I feel good about some of their evaluations.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I'm like, they don't know what I'm going through. So whatever. Because that cloud's outside that they don't see that's waiting for me as I leave the building,
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense because it's like we're in shared misery. So it's okay for us to laugh with each other.
Right.
And I think when I'm with other bereaved parents, it's the only time I feel normal.
Yeah, because you get it. Right. And you don't have to explain it,
I agree. It's the only place where I can just be.
Yeah.
You can just be. You can just be
Yeah.
who you are. You can come in and be super sad. You'll probably end up laughing a little bit too, because of all of our dark, twisted grief humor.
So I was going to say with this shirt, so she passed away before the concert.
Yes.
And we were trying to decide, we had bought 4 tickets because she was going to go with her friend, one that used to go to the baseball because it's her brother's on the team, plays with my son. We bought 4. We weren't sure if we were going to get tickets. You have to like apply almost to get tickets,
Okay.
So her friend bought 4 tickets and we were like trying to figure out, all right, we'll figure out we're going to go and we'll sell the other tickets or whatever. And then we just decided we were going to try to figure out, we'll sell the tickets or we'll go. And I just decided, fuck it, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the 2 cousins that she used to listen to the radio when we went. And I'm so glad I went. I thought I was going to be crying, but I wasn't. I felt really good there. And
felt like she was there with you.
Yeah. I had my phone, I have a picture on her phone, and I just kind of hold it up a lot and I record some of this stuff. And of course, these concerts now are like really expensive sing-along.
Yes.
Everybody's singing, and I'm like, I want to say, like, shut up, I want to hear.
Yeah, you want to hear
I
the
want to-
artist sing.
right. But it was a good show, so I got, well, Sandy bought us some t-shirts, and it was pretty fun.
Yeah. I'm
So
glad you did that too.
yeah,
What do you do now to keep her alive?
I want to say that I write her letters, but I haven't written in a while because it makes me so sad when I write. But I have an ongoing letter that I just kind of write and tell her things.
Like
I,
handwrite or
I write
type
on the
on your
computer.
computer?
Yeah, my handwriting sucks. So
Okay. So the computer's good.
just more thinking about her, doing this, going to the
Mm-hmm.
meetings. Sometimes at the meetings, one of the women there does these arts and crafts stuff. She works at Hobby Lobby, so she'll
Oh,
bring stuff,
cool.
and we'll bring pictures in, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
do stuff like that. I try to bake some stuff for her, or I'll buy her like things at Costco. But mainly it's just thinking about her.
How do you think we can normalize grief in society so that it's not so overlooked or rushed through or put under a rug?
I just think talking about it with people and being open.
As a dad, what are some things that you would want people to do? Now, I know a lot of people show up and do things in the first few
Right.
weeks and the first couple months, but now you're coming up on 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years in October.
Like, what would you wish people would do now?
Just say, hey, how are you doing? Like, and mean it.
Mm-hmm. And mean it.
Yeah, like, how are things going with you? My one friend used to ask me more, but people get busy. I don't know. I go through this, like, I don't like when it's the anniversary things. I know it's the anniversary for you. I hope you're doing well. Fuck that. Every day is a bad day.
Every day is a bad day.
Yeah. So when they see me, it's, hey, how are you doing? Now, there's some people I see all the time, so I guess they don't need to do it all the time.
Right.
So I don't know. I go through this with, like, I don't need people to be doing anything special, I guess. But I don't mind if people just say, oh, hey, I was thinking about Emily and, I remember this thing. Or if I say something like, oh, yeah, that I remember that was funny or something.
Just
Some
not be
people,
like fucking weird, maybe. Like,
yeah,
just, I don't know. I
yeah,
think people they get so weird about it.
they do. And I guess that's normal. I don't know. I used to say what other people think about me is none of my business.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just tired of worrying about what other people do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't control other people, so I just do my thing and I don't really worry about it.
All right.
That's all I can do.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like don't worry about other people, and then I'm like, dude, why the fuck do they do this? Like, why don't they do that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm caught in the middle of both those worlds where I care a lot and I kind of don't care at all.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what to do
Yeah.
with any of that sometimes.
It is. I've thought about that. Because it comes up in meetings a lot where people are like, what do you do when other people? And it's like, whatever. People are going to do their thing. I can't worry about other people. I got enough things to worry about.
How do you want Emily to be remembered?
Happy, funny, fun, thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
She loved decorate for the holidays, any holiday.
Oh God, do you guys decorate now?
No.
Oh, it's excruciating, isn't it?
And we have to for the kid, like, so we put up the Christmas tree, and that's hard for Lorena. Ethan wants to do it. She liked to decorate. We had like stickers for the window for Halloween, and she bought things for Christmas, and she just liked to celebrate stuff. But she was fun and funny, and her friends liked her. She had some really good girlfriends, and I liked her class because she had a couple of fun friends. I would take her over there to her friend's house, and they were, because Ethan was just a boy, and having the girlfriends were fun. I would go over there and she would hide because she didn't want to go home, and she had this one friend that I guess, or at least her mom told me that she told her, I like Emily better than, I guess she had another friend from somewhere else. I like Emily better than this other friend. And her mom said, I like her better too. And they just had a good time. And she had this one friend I would go pick them up from school, and her friend would come up to me. I'm sure they would talk, And then she would say, well, go ask my dad if I can come over. And she would come up to me, and she was tiny. She'd go, Jason, can Emily come over to my house? and, and I would say, of course. And I would always tell them, I said, why don't you guys figure this out the day before, and then I don't have to come over to school.
Right. Yeah.
Then you can just go over there. But it didn't matter. Like, I didn't care.
Whenever I hear Olivia Rodrigo, I'm going to think about her.
Oh, yeah. She liked the, was it the vampire song, I think? Because that was one that had the explicit lyrics, right?
Yeah, she likes the explicit lyrics.
Oh, yeah, that was so funny. And it was just funny the way she would say it. Oh, yeah, the explicit lyrics.
The bad words. Those are good.
They're too smart for their own good.
I know.
Just miss her. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Wanting to hug her again and hold her hand.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, we just miss our kids and want our kids back. It's hard.
That's it, Then I was thinking, we went on this trip up to Tahoe. There were 8 of us, and I kept thinking, if she were there, there'd be 9. How do we get 9 up there?
You would have found a way.
We didn't have a third. I didn't want to have a third.
A third kid.
Yeah. And so when she passed, Lorraine was like, we should have had 3, because now Ethan doesn't have anybody. And it's like, well, yeah, but who plans that out, right?
No,
you can't plan that out.
That's not something. You don't plan for your kid to die.
Yeah.
Kids aren't supposed to die.
I know. What the hell?
It's not a fucking normal thing. It's like not. And I hate that it's normalized in my life that kids die, and my son died, and
yeah.
I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
I know. You can't plan.
Yeah.
So then I think about I should have had life insurance. I didn't have any life insurance on my kids. Who has
life insurance on their kids?
And I sold life insurance for a spell, but
yeah, that's not just kids just aren't supposed to die.
I
So that's
know.
just like not a normal thing.
I know.
We live in a very, very small percentage, I think, of the population where this is like an actual thing.
So yeah, that's it. I think the one thing I could say, you just miss my kid. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really know how we're supposed to do this. Keep doing this. But we just are.
One foot in front of the other. That's all you can do.
I know.
Because there's no other choice, really.
If there's anything you could tell other grieving parents, what would it be?
It's okay to be sad. And it's okay to be sad forever. I guess, really. I mean, when does it... Who says you have to stop being sad?
Well, society's trying to tell us we have to stop being sad.
Right. Because people want to do that, I guess. It's funny, I go to the meetings, and sometimes people want to give advice. I don't like to give advice. So I don't want to be given advice, but I like the idea of it's okay to be sad. I mean, that's what it is.
Right.
And I'm going to be sad, and you're going to be sad, and that's just life.
Okay. I think that's a good way to go out.
All right.
All right. Okay, sad moms, have a day. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for doing this.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you showed up. Sorry, I had to text you. Are you coming?
How could I not show up? I had 20 messages. Are you coming?
I just am never sure. I'm like, I know this is hard. It's not easy to come here and talk about grief and your child and how they died and all that for this long.
No,
so I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Sad Moms. Help us spread awareness about grief and grow our community by writing an Apple review, rating us on Spotify, subscribing on YouTube, and sharing with as many people as you can. Until next time, have a day.